they had several discussions in the content. So, do you want to talk about this today, or what else?
Actually, I was going to request to watch the video of neoliberal economics. It's 16, 17 minutes. I think it's very interesting. Um, it is a TED talk, a TED talk from a super rich startup investor. So one of the 0.001% of the world's most wealthiest people, and his take on inequality in society.
So, could you? Okay, I just reviewed this morning, just this one, and this one, this one. So, uh, all attendance, the speaker is former IMF leader
Yeah,
Lagarde, and also the Brazil minister and
but
Italy
yes, yeah.
minister. And my two person is one is from Ray Dalio. Is I don't know this company. He's just investor, right? Investment company.
Actually, this is the largest investment fund in the world. It has a GDP that is probably larger than most economies in the world.
And discussion competitor is Ray Summers. No,
Yes,
no, Larry
Lawrence.
Summers.
Yeah,
Larry Summers is a professor of Harvard University. So
right.
two person
So,
is discussed against each other.
uh,
Do you remember?
yeah.
So today's our discussion. First of all, could you summarize? Let's mainly focus on this Ray and Larry discussion.
Oh,
And also, I'm very interested in see Francine Lacroix.
yeah.
She is so
I
beautiful
had
woman,
notes, but I throw them out. I threw them out.
right?
It's
So, but these two persons discuss each other, harsh discussion. So we're going
yeah.
to start for this what the difference of their opinion, and could you start for summarizing for this video?
Yeah, that's a week ago. Unfortunately.
Do you remember,
1 second, 1 second. Let me see if I have my notes on the table. 1 second.
or do you want to see the last part again?
Protectionism, or whether we're going to have things that we want, which is globalization. So I think that becomes.
I have to do without the notes.
Can
So
you,
what I do
or do you
remember,
want to see last 10 minutes?
uh, it's okay. If you would like to see it, we can do it. I think one of the biggest points of this video is that actually um, the, a number of other points that were outstanding is that actually um, like everybody's talking from his or her background, which is rather interesting. So what we see is that Lagarde is actually her main point is I told you so. Um, what she is talking about is the divergence of the growing income inequality in Western society. When she raised that topic a couple of years ago, then nobody was really interested in what she was saying because, well, that's not really a big issue. But it turned out that the growing income inequality actually became a very big issue because it fed the rise of the populist leaders in Western society. So that was Lagarde's main topic. Then the uh, uh, what's his name? The professor from
This
Harvard
one,
University,
Larry.
Larry Summers. He is radical in his viewpoint, at least compared to the others, about what we need to do about this income inequality. His forecasts are rather gloomy, and he says that strong measures are necessary. Where at the other hand, people like the investor from Bridgewater,
Right?
Ray Dalio, so I think that was his main counterpart. He's more okay. We need economic growth. Need to be more realistic. If we don't grow the economy, then we cannot feed everyone. So he thought that the viewpoints of Summers were too radical and not realistic. And then the other guys, like for example Marius, he had a completely different viewpoint of the reality at this moment, because he's living in a country where basically the middle class is rising, or was supposed to be rising, but his country, Brazil, is actually tackling a completely different problem, which is economic stagnation due to corruption and a poor political situation in Brazil at the moment. So when we say, okay, there is a problem with the middle class, the income of the middle class is not growing, actually the reality is that globally speaking, the middle class is growing, only not in Western society. So Western society it's not really growing. There we see a stagnation of income, and what we need to do here, that there's different viewpoints. Lawrence Summers, he's been arguing that we need to do much more to distribute wealth more equally, because this is something, if we don't do that, it will destabilize our society. Whereas others in the panel say, okay, well, we need to make sure that we grow our economy, that we stabilize it, we maintain some differences in speed, but basically, if the economy grows, then it's good for everyone.
And also that he said that he much more talking about criticizing tax haven.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned we need to consider income redistribution. Just like he's standing at the side of ordinary people rather than company. And Ray stand at representative of large company.
Yeah.
So he against him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, and that's obvious, because what Ray needs is a growing economies, is stability. What he needs is incentives for people to invest and to take risks. But so for him, income inequality is not the major issue, because as far as he is concerned, the risk of political instability is not as big as the risk of taking a very strong measures that could disrupt the way that the economic system is working. So he sees the risk of the measures that Lawrence Summers is proposing. He sees that as bigger than the risk of political, societal instability. So this is actually typical viewpoint of a professor, because professors don't need to implement these political measures, and people at the other end of the spectrum, like Lagarde, they maybe have from a political standpoint, a more practical point of view, implementing something like universal basic income, tackling the tax havens. That is a phenomenal task, because of the costs that are involved with universal basic income, because of the fact that it takes very a lot of political effort to actually make people give up on their competitive advantage by creating tax havens, for example.